Hello and welcome back to the finishing line, proudly sponsored by Glistian Events. We just done an anti-post video that'll be out on Thursday. As you can see, I'm joined by Andrew and Sean. Tom, if you watched the show on Sunday, is still hungover. Tom already he's missed so many shows this year. I explained the other video. He's not here. And we got questions last time. Is Tom left podcast? Do you have fallen out with Tom? No.
Well, we fall out with Tom every day.
Tom is still in our finishing line group. He's still in the finishing line group. Tom's just apparently younger than me and Andrew and unable to drink.
And we went out for a finishing line night on Saturday. But
we had food and everything.
Oh, it was great night.
Yeah, our food
Slash day.
It was cash. It was the worst pizza I ever had.
Myself, you caught it. Yeah, we went to a big fancy restaurant, right? Himself there. What are you going to have? Pizza. Myself and Tom, fillet steak, rack of lamb.
Yeah, but Sean, you probably you might get this. Like, my food is fairly boring day to day with training and stuff.
So I get a pizza.
So what I like my favorite food is pizza. So we went to an Italian. I was getting a pizza, but I was bitterly disappointed.
What you getting? I couldn't even see me steak, let alone your fucking.
It was pancetta and goat's cheese. I quite liked goat's cheese.
No wonder it was wrong.
Right, and then I added pepperoni to it as well. But see, it was too bready. Right, there was no mozzarella. It was just goat's cheese. Like there was no mozzarella, and then like topped with goat's cheese. Right, so I got screwed there. The pancetta, it was just fat. There was no meat.
Pancetta was lovely.
Yeah, but it wasn't because there's no meat.
I got it as a starter.
Wasn't crispy or anything. It was poor. The lads look great though. Andrew got a lovely steak and Tom got some lamb. I wouldn't be a fan of lamb, but it looked nice.
Looked like about 6 lambs the amount he got.
The key is though, that did not make Tom sick. The drink did. And he's still not here.
We broke another man that can't. I paid poor Sean when he comes to it because Puddy's about the only fella that can hang with us. Puddy's better than us, let's be honest.
Yeah,
Puddy's better than us.
Puddy, if he was a horse, would be running in that race in Czech Republic, the Pardubice, the 6 mile race.
Stays all day.
Yeah, he's only getting going at the end.
We're like 4 milers. We keep going. 6 mile stretches.
Someone like that there. So
we go to Cheltenham. We go to Cheltenham now in 2 weeks. And we'll be back after the race. We have a few pints. And we say, we go to bed now. No. Puddy doesn't. Puddy's there at closing.
Puddy only starts going at like 10 o'clock in the evening. And then when he does get going, he doesn't stop. So he'll just keep drinking through the morning.
I'm in awe of the man.
Oh, yeah. When we got home last year, Sean, I was like, what are you doing? He's like, I have to keep drinking. So we got back to my house in Ballybeg, and his father picked him up. He went straight to the off license, got 8 cans of Coors Light, and was drinking them in the car on the way home.
Oh, Jesus.
My man.
So, Andrew, anyway, how you doing?
I'm great, Dave. Countdown to Cheltenham is on. 2 weeks Thursday.
Yeah, 2 weeks tomorrow. Sean?
Yeah, had a great weekend. Was a non-runner late on Sunday, but celebrated the birthday well, so a bit tired now, but look.
I can't drink.
Yeah, look, we said it in the podcast. Myself and Andrew were here on our own. We said you kind of deserved the night off for your birthday and you're going to a concert and whatever else.
What'd you go see?
Belters only, the DJs from over my way, so in the Tree Arena. You'd know a couple of their songs on the radio. You'd
hear them on the radio.
He's so old and I don't know songs.
You would. Yeah, as Andrew mentioned, we're off to Cheltenham 2 weeks' time. So about this time, Thursday, 2 weeks, we should be kind of getting near our hotel or there, have a pint, and then we're off to racing Friday and Saturday. So same as the last 2 years. Anybody wants to come and say hello, please do. Don't be shy and come over.
Even if we do look like miserable bastards, we're actually not.
We'll be in the bookies, the William Hill there. We actually got banned last year, so maybe we won't be. We were winning a few pound. It wouldn't take any more bets from us.
Sorry.
Which was a bit random. Yeah. Yeah,
Wouldn't
genuinely.
take any more bets off us.
They wouldn't take any more.
Scamming
There you go. They refused, and then they were like, "No, we need ID," and blah blah blah.
So we went outside and we had it with the bookmakers outside, and they said, "Here you go, lads." And we're like, "Thank you, you can have it back," and we'll do our statement dance. Before statement dance was even a thing.
It was Andrew first, and then I tried to do the bet for Andrew, and she's like, "I know what you're doing." I was like, "Oh my god, 12." But yeah, we'll be there. So please do come over and say hello. Hopefully we get a few winners.
That sounds like one of them things where you do a special and it's like a $5 on a 1-to-5 shot or even money, and you try and change your hat, walk back in, and try and back it again.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
What was it? The horse and Nace that done it.
Yeah.
Watch House Cross?
No, it was actually Henry's yoke that ran in Cork that Sean liked. He ran Hidden Valley Lake.
Yeah.
We had a good few pound Hidden Valley Lake, and it did not go down well.
No.
But there you go.
It did not. And another 2 or 3 would have been as well. I think we backed that. Watch Out Cross. The hurdle race.
There's only one race in Cheltenham gone anyway when they refused us, so we was early. We were here for some racing at Wetherby and Down Royal. Unfortunately, Down Royal has been cancelled. So we've added in the Munster National in Cork over the weekend, and we'll talk about the 3 races that we have at Wetherby. It won't be our usual kind of longer podcast, but we didn't want to go the weekend without having a show because the Wetherby card is decent. There's some great horses running. Bookie's forward our first comment. Now we are jumping, lads. Very much a good comment because I paused too long there. Very much a good comment because these are the weeks where all the horses are starting to come out. We have the Paddy Power meeting in 2 weeks' time, so it's a good time to be a Jumps fan.
We have a winner for the Paddy Power meeting as well already.
That's all right, Gino?
No, Middle Harris horse in the first on Saturday.
Oh, I thought you meant the actual Paddy Power.
That's all right, Gino, after this last one.
Sure. There's only a fucking pipe opener. The show was a bumper.
Oh, you're getting angry already.
It was a 2.5 point bumper.
That's actually a fair point.
No jumps.
Fair point.
I was out and I watched the replay of that, and like halfway through I said, "The fuck is going on here?" And then I realised,
stupid. They need to really rethink that meeting.
And then I look on Twitter and some lad saying, "Why don't you not just put a shield over each fence?" I broke my heart laughing at that one. Just put a sunglasses
on them. Instead of eyes, do you know we some of them are allergic to hair or something? They put on little things on their eyes. Sunglasses on them. Yeah. See what happens. They're fucking colourblind anyway, so they're not going to know the difference.
Oh, stop.
Stone crack.
I had got on to Andrew before we get into the racing about a little project for Andrew, and he came back to me and explained that 50% of the people that watch the podcast do not like and subscribe. So I implore the people that watch the podcast and enjoy the podcast but don't like or subscribe, please do so. Hit the like button, subscribe. It costs you nothing. It helps the podcast. It'll give Andrew more work to do, which everybody wants. Me, Sean, all the viewers included, Kate, Tom, even though Tom never shows up. So please like and subscribe to those 50%. Another comment, Apple away, running on Friday. She was declared tough race against Grey Dawning. Don't even worry. She'll spank that horse out the gate. She will.
Oh, right, she did.
I am thoroughly looking forward to Friday. I have it penciled in.
Time's it on it?
I'm on my break from work, so it's in between 1 and 3.
It's nice to give yourself off.
Okay, a little 2-hour break there to watch Apple away. It's great. I love picking these horses because I get private messages on Twitter from some of our part owners and stuff, and they be telling me what's going on, and I feel like I'm part of the group. So it was the same with Shaquille as well. I love these lads. I love these lads and lasses that are just a bit obscure.
But when I put them up, I get abuse.
Yeah, sure. Look. Anyway, we'll kick on. Still can't believe it didn't win the World Cup. The World Cup? Oh, the rugby, yeah. That was disappointing. We're off to Wetherby on Saturday. A good card. there's 3 great races, and the first one we're going to touch on is the mares listed hurdle, 2 miles. You Wear It Well is favourite. She won the Mayor's Novice last year. Katira, who was second to Irish Point in the Grade 1 and Aintree last year, 2-1 joint favourite. Lucia, the talking mare from last year, Hendo's horse, 7-2. Stainsby's Girl, who was actually coming into form, I think, the back end of last year. She started putting up a couple of wins, 6-1. Salsada, 16-1 and 25-1 bar. So 3 at the top of the market making it. Sean, are you in the You Wear It Well camp, the Katira camp, or the Lucia camp?
I'm firmly in the Katira camp. I really like the look of this filly. I didn't quite look enough into her until yesterday when I was studying through. But she's quite lightly raced over hurdles, and in her career she's 4 from 6. She ran 3 novice hurdles last year, and she won by 7, 13 and 19 lengths. She was then thrown in the deep end, straight into a Grade 1 against the Geldings, and she ran a cracker. She was held up. They held her up out the back, and I think it was a find out mission themselves. But she cut through the field, and she came with a right chance at the second last, and she kicked away with the winner, Irish Point. She just couldn't quite get to him after the last. But I mean, she had Envoi Allen in behind. She had the favourite, You Wear It Well, 12 lengths behind her that day. Like, I'm really shocked she's not a favourite in here by a little, like maybe 13 days, 7-4, and You Wear It Well was at 2-1. I thought that's the way they'd price it. She had the beating of You Wear It Well, and like she was coming straight in off the Mares Novice hurdle. Like, it was strong form. She's not too far off Irish Point. I thought it was cracker for only her first time into a Grade 1. She had gears. I wouldn't be worried about dropping back down because she cut through that field very well. And I think she should be a couple of points shorter than what she is at the moment. I think Lucia, I don't quite know what to do with her. I think she has a nice handicap marking her. And Nicky Henderson's watching. I think he should pull her and run her into Gerri Fielding. But
not watching.
He's not watching, but hey, look. But Katira, I'm firmly in her camp. I think she'll beat You Wear It Well. She already has her entry. There's a good couple of lengths to turn in. You Wear It Well also has to give her £3, and I think she should be a couple of points shorter.
Yeah, I think the 3 fillies are decent. They are novices from last year, so it looks a strong race. Maybe time will tell it's not the strongest race when they go up against the open mares, but 3 good novices from last year. I'd side with Katira as well. I think the race sets up well for her with getting £3 from You Wear It Well and £2 from Lucia, so she should really be winning. The Skeletons are good at getting a horse fit first time out if they want to target a race, like Protector at last year and other ones throughout the year. So I would side with Katira, the same as Sean.
Yeah, I'm Katira as well. She caught my eye last year with a win a marker race. I know she was like 4-9 on or something like that. It's just the way she went through the race. Again, I put her up then for the actual entry Grade 1. She went off 14-1. She ran a nice race. Thing with her, she can go from the front. She can be held up. So she's very versatile in that regards. The other 2, I'll just get on to them. You Wear It Well and Lucia. I think that Mares Novice hurdle last year is one of the worst Mares Novice hurdle we've ever seen. I think it's a dog shit race. I don't think any of them are going to be much of a good. I think this one is going to be fair, clear of the rest of them. Lucia, I just can't take you. Something about her. She's a big talking horse, and she won 2 races last year, and then she got beat convincingly in the other 2. I know one was in Grade 1 behind Katira. Or was it even, she was in a race. Was she in a race? I wrote down wrong. No, she was behind in the pocket. I just don't like her as a horse. I think she's too headstrong, and she does a lot of small things wrong that scupper her chances of winning races in bigger races. But that run Katira put in behind Irish Point, look, as Sean touched on there, Hermes Allen's behind. Let's be clear about it. You Wear It Well is behind her by 12 lengths. Crambo, who won at Aintree last week, he was well behind as well. I think this is a horse with a lot of ability going forward. 3 from 4 over hurdles. The only slight concern I would have, now Sean touched on Skeleton getting horses ready first time out. his form over the last 2 weeks has not been great. I think his strike rate's only like 9%. He's 3 winners from 32 runners. That's my only slight concern.
Yeah, when he had that horse at Chepstow yesterday, it was backed off the boards, that King of Royhope, and it done the job. So
yeah, but if you go through, there's been a lot of single price horses that
Hardy wasn't even trying for majority of the races in the intro on Sunday.
It's not even you go through. It's not even just in general the last 2 weeks. There's been a lot of single figure horses beating double figure lengths. I know, but in regards to this, I know it's a grade 2, and she's a kind of horse that races like she wouldn't take much training to get ready. She's a kind of not buzzy, but she's forward enough, and I think a 2-1. I agree with Sean. I think this thing could go off 6-4, 5-4. I think she's going to be a good bit clear of these, and she's getting weight.
The only thing that worries me about her is the trip, the 2 miles. I think she's better over 2.5. But
look, the thing is, there's going to be a pace there.
She should be.
And the ground, if this rain we're getting here is going over to England, it's not going to be. It's not going to be quick ground by any stretch of imagination.
Yeah, Lucia. I think we all 4 of us said that she was the lay of the meeting for us last year at Cheltenham. I don't mind Lucia. I just think she wasn't tested in any of the races that she ran in last year, and when she went into an actual race, she didn't know what to fucking do. Like,
no.
And I think I mentioned at the start of the year when we came back to the podcast, I had her down as winning at Jerry Field and handicap Newbury on the weekend of the Hennessy.
She has a very workable mark.
So I thought they'd go handicapping with her. So I'm surprised to see her in here. So we shall see.
Yeah, as of right now, she doesn't do anything for me. That could all change.
The next one, the Bet365 hurdle over 3 miles, kind of the first. It's grade 2, but it's kind of the first of these long distance hurdles of the season with the decent horses in it. Time Hill back hurdling. How this horse ever stayed jumping fences last year is beyond me. I know people fancied him for the Brown advisory. He just could not jump a fence. 2-1, Dashel Drasher, 3-1, Botox Haas.
You like him?
9-2. I do like Botox Haas. He doesn't win enough, and how in God's name he's given these horses £4 is fucking beyond me. But there you go. Ahoy Senior is in here, will run probably in the Chase. Galaw, same. Then you have Bold Endeavour, 10-1 and 14-1 bar. Andrew.
Yeah, all what you said there. Time Hill last year chasing. Look, I was totally against it from the start, and I done a piece on him. He's jumping when he got beat by McFabulous when he went off 4-7. He was just never a chaser. No people say, yeah, he won a grade 1. I'm gonna have to charge this in a second. He won a grade 1 and all that, but that was a piss poor one. All he had to do was turn up and he won that. Jumping was found out massively in the Brown advisory. It was all going to come to pot, and it went to pot. To me, this is again like his younger days. It's about him turning up and winning. I think he's miles better than a lot of these. Now, Dashel Drasher was second in the Stayers hurdle, but I think he's a far better horse than him. If you go through his first time out record from when he started racing for Philip Hobb, he had grade 2 win over hurdles against Fiddler on the Roof, and Fiddler on the Roof was a very good horse. He was second. He beat Paisley Park in the grade 2, second to champ in the grade 1, and then last season he was 17 lengths winner of a beginner's chase. Long story short, and we can get into it till cows come home. His form is by and far the best in this field by a country mile. Dashel Drasher ran above and beyond himself last season. He's his main danger. Botox horses just can't get my head around that horse whatsoever. As you said, doesn't win enough. Ahoy Senior was going to run in the Charlie Hall. Galaw could be the prep run for the Paddy Power if they're going there. Bold Endeavour don't like Red Risk, and all the rest of them are. It's just one of these races when I looked at it and I went, Time Hill just wins. It's like Paisley. I know, I'll do it in a sec. Just like Paisley Park Paisley Park last week. It just wins. Like, his mind's better than anything else that's in the field. I think he just wins 2-1. He's like the same as Gatir in the last one. I can see this thing absolutely hammered in the market.
Yeah, I love Dashel Drasher. He's exactly the type of horse I like. Goes out in a sword, but he just always seems to meet one better. And Time Hill's form is miles clear realistically over hurdles. I don't know why they just didn't stay over hurdles last year. Dashel Drasher's trainer, Jeremy Scott's in form. A couple of winners last couple of weeks and placed horses. But Philip Hobbs, I think he's had 5 odd winners in the last week or so. And some of them are well backed. I mentioned a couple of times some of these stables last year that went through a bit of a drought. Neil King being one. And Philip Hobbs, although he maybe not at the top level anymore, he had a terrible season last year. Really, really struggled for winners. You're good to go there now. And we had mentioned the year before, it kind of happened to Henry's stable over here. So whatever's going on seems to be back to normal. Philip Hobbs getting the winners. The shared license he has now with Johnson White. I think Time Hill will win as well. Botox has not good enough, although he's a nice horse. And then the outsiders are just not the best. Dashel Drasher will do as usual out in front, and Time Hill picks him up with in the last half furlong. Sean?
Yeah, you've hit the nail on the head. I tried to have a look. I haven't a clue why Botox has is carrying this £4 penalty. Seems ridiculous. But you've touched on, he does run a good race fresh. I would have been on his side, but he's to give that £4 penalty to these, and I don't think he's capable of that. He does run well first time up, but Dashel Drasher, I think, will set the pace with Time Hill, and as you hit the nail on the head, I think Time Hill will just go by him late. Dashel Drasher's 10, going 11. What I don't know what last season would have taken out of him. He ran a big one in the Cheltenham race. I don't know if that could have been the end of him. But Time Hill, he was got in a muddling race at Sandown to finish off last season when he went back over hurdles. And step back up to 3 miles here. I think he's going to really appreciate it. And I think that price is going to be clipped. There's 2 to 1 still about. I'd be surprised if he's not going off 14 days, 6 to 4 now.
It's just miles better, isn't he?
Yep.
Yeah.
Barry Fitzpatrick, lads, bring back Tom. Tom is more than welcome. He's always hungover. There's nothing we can do about it. Anyway, the 3 o'clock at Wetherby, the Bet365 Charlie Hall Chase, Grade 2. Bravemansgame is in here. 4 to 5 favourite. I seen your 3 to 1. Gentleman's Game coming over. Mouse Morris, very shrewd trainer, sends horses over. 4 to 1. Pick Dory's also in here, and Harry is jocked up, but apparently he's not running. 6 to 1. Midnight River, who was really getting it together towards the back end of last year. 10 to 1. Dashel Drasher in here as well. I right and Sail Away. Sean, who are you going for?
Yeah, it's a watch and brief now. I wouldn't be getting stuck into Bravemansgame at that price at 4 to 5. Him and Gallopin be 2 that I'll want to see win first time out without backing them, just to prove that Punchestown run was one too many. But Ahoy Senor, like, he's an idiot over the fence. He's just not learning at all. I wouldn't be surprised if he roots one in there. And Mouse sending over Gentleman's Game. I think Bravemansgame, listen, I don't think he's going to be able to left 2 uncooked, because Gentleman's Game had his prep run coming here. And if he's not up to it, I think he's going to be pushing every button. He's getting £6 off Bravemansgame in here, so he'll have to be running right to his mark.
Yeah, look, I just can't see Bravemansgame beaten, to be honest. I think as a novice hurdler, when he got beat by Bob that day, the wheels kind of fell off and people were unsure what to make of him after Nichols talking him up for so long. He went and truly put all the doubters away last year in the King George and gave Gallopin everything he could muster in the Gold Cup. Ran very well at Punchestown as well. Nichols is quite good at getting him to back up and run at Punchestown. And he had run poorly at Aintree before that, so maybe that extra break suited him. I just think he'll jump these for fun now. I really like Gentleman's Game. I think he'll win a big pot somewhere along the lines this year. But Bravemansgame is just better than these horses.
Yeah, he is. But here's my not worry, but the question that I have with Bravemansgame right now is with what Paul Nichols came out and said last week in regard to it's either going to be the Charlie Hall or we're going to go to Haydock in the Betfair. With that, does that say to you that he's cherry ripe to go, not cherry ripe, but ready to go as good as he can get him at home for this? or were they going to wait an extra 3 weeks to get more work into them for the Betfair? This is where I'm kind of hemming and hawing over how ready is Bravemansgame when they have their main targets marked out. I know he won last year, won it quite convincingly. King George is going to be his race. How bad is the ground going to be? How good is the ground going to be? How fit is he going to be? We don't know. Same with a high senior. What high senior is going to turn up? How much of the Gold Cup, as Sean alluded to, has taken out Bravemansgame? We don't know yet. So that brings a high senior. God only knows what he'll end up doing. That brings me to Gentleman's-Game. I really like this horse. I've liked this horse for a long time. He has race fitness on his side. He ran a massive race in the PWC Champion Chase at Goran Park. He's back from 7-2 to 7-4 in a matter of minutes before the off there. He's getting weight off all these. He's race fitness on his side. And Mouse Morse rarely sends a horse on a boat over to England if it's not worth his while. I got 5-1 about an hour and a half before we came on here, and he's 4-1 now, so there's a small bit going on him already. He got beat a half a length by Easy Game, who feels that race at Goran Park. But if you go to his Chase debut, he beat Iron Maximus 8 lengths as easy you like, and we all know Iron Maximus went on to win the Irish National. So that alone form is really well, and the backup of running and beating or getting close to Easy Game and having Envoi Allen behind him speaks volumes of what this horse could do. Not saying he's going to be world beater. This could be his Gold Cup. So I in my eyes, this fella is going to be cherry ripe for this. He had to run under his belt. He's had to get his eye back in, and he's only going to improve over a fence again, because that was only his second start, and you can only see him improving again. A 5-1 was a fair price to me when I got it. And I think he's going to put it up to Bravemansgame. And if there's any chinks in the armor fitness-wise, I think he's the one there that's going to pick it up. So I'll be siding with Gentleman's-Game today, Saturday, to beat Bravemansgame.
Yeah, I think Ginger Joe said it. Surely he goes from the front and dominates them regards Bravemansgame. Ready to go now. I don't think they want to go to Haydock because it could be so deep. I just totally agree. I don't think he goes on deep ground. I think Punchestown last year showed, and Cheltenham on the Friday showed that he likes a little bit of dig, but that deep ground that they usually get at Haydock, the likes of Bristol, the Moy, and so on and so forth, win there. I don't think he'd like that whatsoever.
Like how
if
good
you
is going to be?
if you skip the weekend and aim for Haydock, and then you have to pull him, because didn't he pull him the time at Cheltenham that Le Home Presse won because of heavy ground?
If that's the case with the ground, what's the ground going to be like over there now?
If it's not going to be as bad as Haydock. I'm nearly sure that's what he was saying yesterday regards him and Pictoria. It was to do with the ground, and they swap him around and stuff. But Bravemansgame definitely does not go in heavy ground.
If Bravemansgame is on his A game, he beats these. My whole thing behind it is what it is. How ready is he going to be? He's not going to be drilled to the nines to win this. This is the starting point for him. And Paul Nichols doesn't give a shit that this fella got beat here. And the whole Gold Cup, what's it after taking out of him? Who knows?
Yeah.
But if he does turn up and everything is A1, he'd win. Or it's just a slight niggle worry at the start of the season. What's that after taking out of him, with Paul coming out and saying, we could wait 3 weeks? How ready is he going to be? Was he really waiting for the Betfair Chase?
I think you're reading too much into it. I think on Saturday, you'll be like, that was such a good bet at even money.
No, it's not even for it. I won't even back him at even money.
Borat's back. Yeah, and the Charlie Hall does give him a good little break till King George. The last race we'll touch on today is the Munster National down in Cork, the Paddy Power Cork Grand National. Wait, no, skipped on there. And I'll go through all the runners. We have Royal Tifa in there as favourite, Ida's Boy, Walk Away, Call the Tune, Foxy Jack, Steel Cur, Deafy Bleu, Salmanino, Glen Quinn Castle, Flash the Tuesday, Champagne Pantlum, Mercury Lane, Fairy Hill Run, Everglow, The Little Wank, Sir Bob, History of Fashion. The Little Wank is running, yeah. and Cavalry Master. That's the Little Yanks' 67th run this year, I'd say.
Holy God.
These long distance handicaps are always great to see. I love watching them. Very hard to get the winners. Hi lads, remember me, the Remington.
The Remington 1 furlong master.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he used to be in the group, the text group.
Did he?
Back in 1 furlong races. Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah. I don't know who Sean and Andrew are going to go for in this, or if they have a big fancy, but I am siding with Liz Doyle's horse, Salmanino. Carrying 10 stone, 7-year-old. Won a beginner's chase last year. He's run well at Cork twice. He was 4th and 2nd. He just screams a big, slow boat yoke that will love these long distance chases at a slower pace and just gallop along there, not a bother. She's had a winner in the last couple of days, so stable's in form. And if he goes there, I'd be quite happy to back him. Andrew?
I quite like 2 in this. First one, I start as top of the market. Ideas Boy. Second season novice. This fella has had some quite decent enough form over fences and hurdles. His last hurdle run saw him run 2nd to Gerri Colombe. If you go to his chase debut, his first chase start, he won by 14 lengths, beating Guya Delarge of Henry's.
Guya.
4th in that was the Goffer, who we know went on to win the Ladbrokes Handicap Chase at the Dublin Race Festival. That was 4th to Cork Rambler.
So annoying, because I had him penciled in to win the Ultimate.
Yeah. He's 4th to Cork Rambler, Fast and Slow, and Mombay Genius in the Ultimate. Then was 4th then again in the Bet 365. Hasn't really done much this season, but as regards to last season, that's good form. Watchhouse Crafts, who we touched on just at the start talking about Cheltenham. He was in behind him as well. He won an ace handicap. He was had to win 2 novice chases since, and he was 3rd in a grade 3. So he has a half length 2nd in grade 3 at Cork, and he's pulled up a 13-day favour in the Florida Pearl at Punchestown. Obviously, something was amiss because we haven't seen him since. This is the first time meeting this kind of trip, but I kind of like these kind of, not class, but higher graded horses who are novices coming into their open season, going into these big handicaps. I know he's carrying a bit of weight, but I don't see there any reason not for him to progress again and for him to see out the trip. I think he's going to run very, very well. No meat horses have been running quite well enough on the flash, so I think former trainer is no issue, and I don't think the ground will be an issue whatsoever. So he's the one at the top of the market. I think will be probably the best of the jig and sound horses. Now, obscure one at the bottom, Sir Bob. So I think we backed him at Punchestown last year.
We did.
And he should have won. He got beat short head in the 3 mile 7 handicap at the Punchestown Festival. 2nd and 3.5 soft, where nearly got up again the race before that. He was 3rd, good to yield and ground, beating half a length. Granted, his last win was off 104 and he was off 122, but I think the key here is going to be the trip in the ground, because he takes ages to get going, and when he gets going, he's like a wet sail coming home. This trip is going to be right up his alley. I don't think the ground is going to be any issue whatsoever, because the spark of improvement that got him from 104 to 122 was all on this kind of ground. So taking into that, the price, and he's had to have 2 runs over hurdles, so these as prep runs. To me, this looks like a plan that's been taken in the summer. So he's had to have 2 hurdle runs, 1 in September, 1 in October, and he's going to be chaired right for this. I think 20 to 1 is a massive price. He's only carrying 10 stone 1. If JP ends up putting a little claimer on him, you might get more off it. I think he's weighted well. Granted, he's 11-year-old. But I think there's still a small bit of wiggle room in his marks. Like 20 to 1, he might be bigger on the day. I think he's worth $1,000 each way back.
Just before Sean, and I know there's a selection on the tip of his tongue here now, ready to go. Let's do this. A little promo from Glistian Events. Andrew's not ready.
Oh, I'm not ready. I'm ready.
There's a lot to do in South Africa. And when the little lions were there, I said to Andrew, I'd like to go on safari. I think Tom has been. Safari being, on land. And Andrew said, yeah, it'll be fun until you get eaten by a shark.
Took you ages to cop on what I said.
Anyway.
You were looking at your phone, then you looked at me and went, oh.
The music is like some 90s game show. Yeah, like I thought it was like Bradley from the Chase there. Just before we do that.
Play the Chase.
Boom. I know, Chase great. Sean, last selection of the weekend. Go for it. Make it a good one.
You're muted.
Oh, Andrew stole my show. So Bob's now. Yeah, he's an L Cliff horse of mine now. He's just one of these nags that you just back through thick and thin, no matter what. But
he'll win eventually for you.
Yeah, like Punchestown fucking killed me, man. I was out there that day, and I don't know how he didn't get up. Another Bob, and he was up. But he's been given 2 prep runs over hurdles. This is exactly what he's looking for. A big slow boat on heavy ground. He will be staying on all day. He's a lightweight. I wouldn't be half surprised if they threw up a climber on him as well to bring him down into the 9 stones, and you're getting 20-1. I think he's definitely worth the bet now.
I'm going to do a 10-cent reverse forecast.
10 cent?
50 cent reverse forecast. Reverse tricast, sorry. Ida's boy, Salmonino, Sir Bob.
It's going to be...
know what to do.
Oh, they were just going to return fuck all, but like... I'll try anyway.
You booked that safari trip.
Yeah, no, if it comes in, I'm gone.
Mind sharks.
I won't be here next week. Yeah, I'll mind the sharks.
You'll be here next week?
Yeah, well, if it wins, like, I'm taking the week off.
Oh, you take the week off.
I'll buy a cage for the sharks.
It boggles me why people go swim with sharks.
I would do it.
It really does boggle.
I would do it.
It's a great buzz. I recommend it.
Yeah, did you do it?
Yeah, I've done it, yeah.
Really?
How big were the great whites?
What's that?
How big were the great whites?
Oh, no great whites. Tiger sharks and stuff.
That's fake. That is fake.
Tiger sharks.
They're only small yolks.
Tigers are more aggressive.
I know they're more aggressive.
Small yolks, like 18 foot.
That's small compared to the... No, we're small compared to great white sharks.
Tigers get big, boy.
They're not as big as great white sharks.
It's just their heads.
Tiger sharks are little bastards. They'll swim, but they can go in salt and fresh water.
The heads are not as big.
They're little bastards now.
Yeah,
some of them ended up, but there was a flood. I remember there was a flood in America, and the whole golf course got flooded. Sharks ended up in the actual lake of the golf course.
Everglades.
It's some buzz like you
imagine you go and playing golf. You have a golf ball went into the water, and see these fins going across. Like what the?
It's some buzz because like when you're under the water, you have the oxygen tank in, you can hear yourself breathing. See all the sharks around you. There's absolutely no in and out anymore. You're just sucking as much oxygen shit as I was, but it was deadly.
All right, Steve Irwin.
Do you ever see the one?
Oh, we're still going.
Sorry, sharks are the thing. This is the most stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life. There's a fellas went out to the Cape in South Africa. What did he? Do you know the way of a shark cage? Grand shark cage. You go out there is what you do. No, plexiglass fucking bed. May as well be in plexiglass bed on top of the sea. Great white sharks going around. Gave it a little nudge. What do you think happened next? Yes, and they missed them by that much.
Yeah, there was lessons learned that day. I'd say.
No, I'd say he done it again the next day. That was great, mate. That was great, mate.
I think lessons were learned that day. On that note,
sharks,
horses, Wetherby and sharks this week. So there you go.
I like sharks, but I won't swim with them. Shark
Week is coming up next, baby.
We're doing naps next best.
Yeah, we'll do a shark podcast next week.
No, naps the next best.
I don't know. Do you want to? There's not many horses, you know.
No.
I don't have any.
As what we talked about, I'd like Gentleman's Game price.
Yeah, that's not going to win. Andrew, Sean, you're Andrew.
Yeah, I really like Katira. I think she's a great bet. I think she's going to be a fair few points shorter, so she's one I'd recommend back on them.
Sir Bob.
Now, there's some for you. So, Katira, Sir Bob, and Gentleman's Game.
But we will put up better ones closer to the time. Send it to me.
And I mean, if I had to pick one, it would be Time Hill, I'd say. Time
Hill, Katira, double.
That's what I'm going to do on Saturday.
That'll make you money.
€10 on the double. Thanks as always to our sponsor, Glistian Events. That 50%. subscribe, hit the likes, and leave some comments in the description below. Have a good weekend.